I'm Crystal Faulkner with the CPA and Business Advisory firm of Cooney, Faulkner & Stevens. We're here today with Eddie Shiomi. Eddie is the Vice President of Programs for Venture for America. And Eddie, I really think this is an exciting venture that you're bringing here to Cincinnati. Why don't you share what Venture for America is all about?
Well, Venture for America is a wonderful, exciting organization that's going to launch basically in August, where we're going to take 50 high potential youth, largely recent undergrads from Ivy League schools, and we're going to pipeline them into small cities such as Cincinnati, Providence, New Orleans, Detroit, and Las Vegas, and place them in startup companies to train for 2 years to be entrepreneurs in those cities, with the hopes of them eventually starting their own startups in those cities and or continue to work for these high growth, high potential organizations.
And the ultimate goal for Venture for America, which is a not-for-profit organization, I might add,
Yes.
What is your ultimate goal?
Well, there are a few ultimate goals. I think from the city side, it's pipelining youth that would normally not work or move to a city like Cincinnati into gainful employment in startup companies. Another thing is job creation. We're hoping, again, that these youth start their own companies and eventually create jobs for the regions. And for the youth, a lot of them would normally be courted by financial service firms or consulting firms, and we think there's a lot of interest in their own business sort of starting generation, and there aren't a lot of options for that for these youth on campus, and so we want to give them that option with our organization.
You know, Eddie, in our CPA firm, we work with a lot of privately held businesses, many of which started as startup organizations, and I know the passion that's involved in the innovation. Do you think that innovation is something that can be learned by these students, or is it inherent to an entrepreneur?
No, I definitely think it could be learned. I think, if you look at the profile of some of maybe the entrepreneurs, the successful ones you may have here, you wouldn't have thought back in the day that they themselves would be entrepreneurs. Sometimes it just takes a little catalyst, a little unique opportunity, a little mentorship, luck of the draw on your first job. And we want to increase the odds of the likelihood of these folks being in that direction.
And if someone listening today would like to be involved, to maybe apply to be a student, a fellow for Venture for America, or maybe a company looking for a potential recruit, how do they go about finding you?
Well, you would go to our website, www.ventureforamerica.org, or you can email me at Eddie, E-D-D-I-E, at ventureforamerica.org.
Thank you, Eddie Shiomi with Venture for America. We're going to continue our conversation with Eddie on WCPO.com/businesswise. So, Eddie, we mentioned that Cincinnati is one of just a very few cities that's been chosen for Venture for America. What were some of the criteria that you used in determining which cities to pick?
Sure. Again, the other cities are Providence, New Orleans, Detroit, Las Vegas, and we were really looking for cities, again, that generally maybe are not cities that normally high potential youth graduates would gravitate toward right after graduation. Perhaps there's a degree of youth flight, perhaps there's a degree of economic decline or stagnancy that's going on.
Not considered the sexy cities?
Yeah. A lot of the folks who are aspiring entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs, tend to flock toward the Silicon Valley or New York or some other hub, maybe Boston. And we feel that starting your own organization can be done in any city. And in terms of the cities that we look for, we need a basic minimum level of a community of startups that can handle maybe 8 to 10 fellows, so at least an organization that has a community of startups, 8 to 10 that can individually handle fellows, as well as maybe a steward, an individual who's willing to advocate for our organization.
You know, I'm pretty involved in the community in many different levels, and I know one of the big initiatives that's going on right now is developing this whole entrepreneurial ecosystem.
Yes.
What other organizations are helping you, Venture for America, bring this program to Cincinnati?
Well, again, Eric Abner with Hale Foundation has been obviously a huge part of this. In fact, we could argue he was the catalyst for us coming here. And some partner organizations I'm working with are, the Brandery has been very helpful. There's Cincy Tech, Black Book, Zipscene. All these are, again, a part of the ecosystem, the startup of folks that have been here.
You know, for people who really don't pay that much attention, I think they'd really be quite surprised at how many organizations and how many resources we do have here in our community to help entrepreneurs and to help startups. And this sounds like an amazing program that's really going to help take this whole startup community to the next level.
Yeah, we're hoping that will be the case, and this is something we're hoping for in the other 4 cities as well. And it's exciting because we're planning on continuing our commitment to Cincinnati moving forward. So next year, we're going to have probably 100 fellows that are going to be placed not only in the existing 5 cities, but 5 additional cities after that. And we're just going to keep this pipeline going. We're really looking to create a new tributary of talent back into the middle of the country that normally have been going to the coast.
Eddie, thank you so much for being my guest, and thanks for everything you're doing. And one more time, quickly, what's the website if folks would like information on Venture for America?
Yeah, it's www.ventureforamerica.org.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.